Podcast starts now. Hello, everyone. From sea to shining sea, wherever those seas may be, you are listening to StraightioLab, the world's fastest growing podcast.
It's growing so fast that it's unsustainable, to be honest. And we are
Yeah.
hiring community, what's the word? Moderators, community moderators left and right. We are forced to hire in, emerging economies, emerging territories. It is highly unethical. And we apologize, but ultimately we can't control how quickly our podcast is growing.
Yeah, it's grown so large, and the fan community, just the way they connect and they talk to each other, it was awesome at 1st until the misinformation started. Of course,
there's misinformation, there's negativity. It is, I would say, made a hard right turn, and I would say that it is a branch of the Republican Party in a way that we don't endorse. But we're not going to say no to listeners.
No, we're not going to say no to listeners. It's not our fault. We live in a capitalist society. And if our podcast isn't constantly growing, then we'll get our literal homes taken away from us, which are big, by the way.
Yeah, and if you have a problem with living in a capitalist society, take it up with economists, because we didn't invent that.
We didn't invent that. I was born this way, baby. George, how's it going?
Honestly, so bad. You have no idea.
Really? Are you cranky?
No, it's not that I'm cranky. I am still recovering from food poisoning that I got on Monday night.
Oh no.
And I sort of made a pretty game-changing realization recently, which is that I was doing another podcast, and the host, who is someone we love on this podcast and we've had on before, asked me, do you consider yourself a sickly person? And my instinct was to, of course, deny that and be like, me? Sickly? I'm one of the strongest men there is and has ever lived, actually. And then I sort of thought about it and tried to use reason to answer. And I thought, I guess I am someone who gets sick more than the average person. And making that realization about myself for the first time ever in my 30s has been kind of a game changer. Like the fact that I had
good or bad
in
way?
A bad way. I'm like, I need to take steroids.
Oh no.
I got food poisoning on Monday night. I had a terrible 24 hours. You wouldn't want to know the details, mama.
Okay.
But let's just say it was not fit for television.
Ooh.
And then after that, it's been truly like 3 days of just I'm still unable to eat normally. I'm still pretty much unable to leave the house because I feel exhausted every time I get up. I'm like, okay, this was like one meal.
Okay. Also, this is crazy. Is there a trend of food poisoning right now? I feel like everyone has food poisoning. Like Richard Perez had food poisoning this week too.
He did.
And like that's a trend watch. If you and Richard had it, it's going through the gay community.
It's an LGBTQ plus trend.
Yeah. Soon everyone's going to be having food poisoning. That's how.
You know who's going to be having it soon? Is that the allies are going to start getting, through empathy, sometimes the men in the relationship lactate. That's the really staunch LGBTQ plus allies are going to start getting food poisoning, and you'll know you're not a good ally if you don't have food poisoning.
My question is there some sort of LGBT food that everyone is eating that is giving them food poisoning?
Cock.
Is that where you got it, do you think? Is that where you got it, do you think?
I actually did get it from cock.
Oh, okay.
It was undercooked. Ladies, make sure to order your cock well done.
Yeah. Ladies, be sure to bring that meat thermometer when you're about to consume some cock. Wow.
So yeah, that's how I've been. How are you?
Oh, I'm fine. Today, my day was absolutely rocked and wrecked because I went to a Bank of America ATM, which is my bank, and I have been a loyal Bank of America member for the last decade. And I went to a Bank of America ATM and I tried to take out money, and all my money got stuck in the ATM. And then I was like, so I was at the bank and I was like, okay, well, that's not ideal, but I'll just go. I'm here. I'll go talk to the person behind the desk. And I was like, hey, like the ATM, like all my money got stuck. And she was like, okay, well, just go ahead and call the number that's on the ATM. And I was so furious because I was like, you work here. You're here. You are the bank person. I will call and I will get someone like you. I was like, I don't understand why you can't just deal with it. And so then I did call the bank. and they were like, obviously it's like hours, not hours, but it felt like hours of like, press one, say yes. What are the
Mhm.
last three digits of your love language? And then it was like, and then as I was doing this, somebody else used the ATM, and I tried to tell them like, hey, it's actually broken. Like all my money got stuck, but they didn't respond, and I think maybe they didn't speak English, which go off and is beautiful. But then they then got money out, and I think they also got all my money.
Oh,
And I
no.
was like,
Wait, did you end up getting the money you were owed?
no, no. So then,
No.
so then, and I was
This is
just
how they
like,
get you.
I was so, and then I was like, what is going on? And then I finally called the bank, and they got to a person, and they're like, yeah, it's still pending, so you'll have to call us back. And I'm like, why can't you make a note? I don't work at the
You
bank.
know,
You work at the bank.
let me tell you something. This is built into their business. These banks, they count on you to get so tired that you stop calling about the money you lost. And yeah, to you, it's 40, 60, $80, but it adds up, honey, because they have clients all across this great nation.
It was insane. And it made me really feel like every system we have is crumbling. Every single system.
Yeah. You know, it's funny because that what we're talking about almost harkens back to the conversation we were having with Jake about the flaws of app-based efficiency, like
Mm-hmm.
how by trying to make everything efficient on your phone, all you're doing is creating more chaos in the world. And I actually had that experience recently with, I'm sorry to say, Domino's Pizza.
Oh no.
So I haven't ordered Domino's Pizza since I was legitimately in middle school.
Okay.
But I ordered it recently because I'll say, craving a sense of home.
I have been there.
I wanted to feel like I was 11 years old, and I
Mm-hmm.
ordered Domino's Pizza. Now here's what happened. I ordered it, then suddenly on the app, where it famously says, um, Marcus is preparing your order, and like Phoebe is putting it in the oven, etc. That was not happening, and it was as though the order didn't exist. And then I kept putting my phone number, it didn't exist. I called, they wouldn't put me on to the person that was in charge. And then I thought, I can't. And then I thought, I'm going to check which branch of Domino's this is getting delivered from. And lo and behold, it was one that was a mere 10-minute walk from my apartment. So I thought to myself, I'm going to walk to this Domino's and ask them in person if they got my order. And then I got there, and they're simply like, the way that it looked inside just looked like a sort of Amazon factory type situation. Like, I don't think there was anyone that could have given me customer service. So I walked all the way to the Domino's just to get there and be like, well, there isn't a front desk here. This is merely a front. No one works here. There's just machines making the pizza. And I am sort of just stuck. There's no way to know. Either this pizza is coming when my initial email said it was coming, or it's not. And there's nothing I can do about that.
Did it come?
Guess what? It came. And that's why Domino's is a better corporation than Bank of America.
Wow. I mean, we're really on the edge. I can feel us like sort of bubbling under the surface. Feels like we're
I
about to
know.
snap at any moment.
I have to say, I have really felt on the verge of snapping over the last week.
Yeah.
I think it's been tough. I think a big part of it has been, of course, that for the past 4 days I've just been at home,
Mm-hmm.
um, and not eating. I'm very skinny for Fashion Week, and that's sort of all that
Well,
matters.
congratulations.
Thank you.
Um, well, I'm sorry you had food poisoning.
No
Um,
worries. And I'm sorry you lost your money.
it's okay. I think I will get it back, but it is now my full-time job of like having to check in with Bank of America, who I love.
This is like, yeah, this is why I am not cut out for this dog eat dog world, is because I give up when that happens. Like, if I call 1.5 times and my request is not granted, I'm like, well, it's not meant to be. And then I move on with my life.
Yeah. I will keep up with it because I'm bored and
Mm,
petty in that way. And it matters to me. And I think I also want to feel good about the person that I think actually did get my money, and I want to be like, Bank of America gave you money. And but I don't want it to be
sure.
like, you took money from me.
Yeah. Do you know? Yeah, it's funny, the sort of morality tales we tell ourselves in order to like justify doing or not doing something. It's like, you're saying you're petty and that's why you're going to chase this money until you get it. I almost tell myself the opposite, very unproductive story of like, I'm better than this. It's not worth my time, which is so wrong because it's like that is my money and they stole it. If I were you,
Yeah.
But there's something where you're like, well, it's go. What am I gonna do? Chase my money? Please, I'm a wealthy woman.
Wow. I mean, I wish I had that outlook.
Listen, I wish I had yours,
Well, be careful.
and that's how we make a perfect team.
It seems like we're about to Freaky Friday ourselves or something.
And speaking of the opposite of freaky, which is glamorous and fabulous, it is time to welcome this week's guest, and it is none other than our friend Joyelle Johnson.
Hello, gentlemen. How
Hello.
are you doing?
Good. How are you?
Joyelle, I got in the middle of saying your name. I know, of course, professionally you go by Joyelle Nicole Johnson, but then I looked at your Zoom name and it only has your first and last name, and I panicked and said that. So I apologize, and I'm, open to being sued for saying your name wrong.
The papers are already on the way, and I am the three names in the credits.
Yeah.
So, so
It
just
really is.
credits
It's such
for
a
me.
Hollywood power move to decide to do three names.
It really
Yeah,
is.
I actually love it. My manager, we had to have a conversation about it where she was like, "What are we doing? Is it Joyelle Nicole? Is it Joyelle Johnson? Is it Joyelle Nicole Johnson?" And I went all three names, and my mother was like, "You probably shouldn't have done that." And I was like, "You gave me the names."
Right. Yeah, it seems sort of uncalled for coming from her. I mean,
Ma'am.
you have Joyelle Nicole Johnson, of course, sounds like I guess it's giving Sarah Jessica Parker. But then again, Joyelle Johnson has the alliteration. And that
Yes.
is sort of, I mean, who's a famous alliteration based celebrity? Mark Maron.
There you go.
Meghan Markle.
Meghan Markle. Right. So you have to decide, do you want to be Sarah Jessica Parker or Meghan Markle? And you went, I think correctly, Sarah Jessica Parker.
Yes, well, actually, it's technically, I'm a nerd. It's technically not alliteration unless there's three letters.
Wow.
Huh. And
Yeah.
no.
Wait, I'm sorry. Explain that further because I actually have no idea what you're talking about.
I've never heard that before.
I just think the definition of alliteration is
Uh-huh.
three of the syllables in the first position in a row. So that's
Really?
actually the definition of alliteration. I could be wrong, but that's what I remember from the
That is
recesses
fascinating.
of my college grammar class.
And you were an alliteration major, right?
I was yes, I have a bachelor's degree in alliteration. I'm a nerd. Word a day calendar over here.
Wow.
Are you? Do you consider yourself a nerd in that way?
I loved words. I was a big word nerd. Like that was my favorite thing to study for the SATs, and I loved messing around with words. And my mother got me a word a day calendar for
Oh, that's so sweet.
like a decade.
Wow.
I feel like that type of nerd is the only ethical kind of nerd that exists. It's like it's someone that's actually thirsty for knowledge rather than someone who loves Star Trek. And no offense to anyone who loves Star Trek because I know that there's validity in that as well. But to me there is something so genuinely sweet about a little kid that loves books and wants to learn new words.
Oh yes, I loved books. I would read in the dark, and now I can barely finish a tweet.
Yeah.
Listen,
Well,
I'm saying.
it's very Matilda in a way that I think everyone is sort of like, oh, fun. I bet she has powers.
Yeah, I do.
I've been reading the same book for at this point 3 full months, and it's like,
Is it The Secret History?
yeah, I'm still reading it, and it's like
How far along are you?
I'm on page. I can't tell you what just happened, right? That's not how it works. I'm on page 350.
Is it a mystery book?
It kind of. I mean, there kind of is.
It's Donna Tartt, Joyelle. It's did you ever read The Goldfinch?
No.
It's the same writer. It's it's this group of kids in a sort of mysterious college, and they're all in this classic seminar with this mysterious professor, and then murder starts happening.
Yes, murder. I'm a big
But it's
fan
very
of literature murder.
It's
Yeah.
literary. It's not it's not Agatha Christie. It is.
Yeah.
It's literary and sort of lush in its description of people and concepts and things.
Okay, is this YA or
How
adult?
dare you?
Oh, it's adult.
Oh,
It's adult,
honey,
okay,
it's
good.
adult.
Oh, it's very
It's
adult.
adult, bitch.
The sex scenes are popping off. The sex scenes are beyond lush. No, actually.
Okay, come on, Jackie Collins.
But it is a long book. So but would you say, Sam, you're towards the middle, towards the beginning?
I'm
towards
between the
end?
middle and the end. I'm sort of in that
Okay.
spot.
Okay.
I'm getting there.
So, you know what though? Sometimes that is the hardest part of a book.
Yeah.
Because I have been in the between middle and end of a very short book, like truly a 200-page book for weeks now, and there's something about it where I'm like, okay, just end. Like I know I only
You're
have like
over it?
50 pages. It's like, come on. Do I have to actually read the words?
Ugh,
That's so funny.
it can be a lot to ask for. Sometimes it is like, can you just put this on a screen and maybe have like glamorous actors be saying these words to me?
I know.
That would be-
Especially for a book like The Secret History, because it's so cinematic. And you can
Yeah.
sort of imagine who you would cast in the roles.
Ooh, like a White Lotus. Where
Yeah.
you just have different people that don't have no business being together. I like that casting.
Joyelle, did you ever used to like cast actors while reading a book as a kid?
No, I wouldn't. But I would cast actors in like my real life. Like I'd be like, who would play that person in a movie? I would do
Interesting.
that. Yeah.
I was
my
very-
mother would always say, who would play them in a movie?
I feel like it's a very sort of gay kid. Like I was like reading, whatever everyone was reading, like Beverly Cleary books. And then I'd be like, well, the mom should be Julia Roberts.
I love that. I'm sure Julia would have been offended at that moment.
Well,
But
I mean,
but now,
yeah,
she's the grandmother.
now. I don't know what else she's doing. Because let me
Yeah.
tell you something, that Amazon series did not do well.
oh my goodness.
Yeah, drag Julia Roberts, our nation's only living movie star.
Literally our nation's only living movie star. And guess what? Yeah, God. I mean, did you watch that rom-com with her and George Clooney?
No, did you?
No.
I did. It's not very. It's like they truly are both at their most charming and, frankly, their hottest. They look incredible, and it's just not enough.
I like the work both of them have had done.
Yes, I
The
agree.
very subtle, the little touch-ups. Very nice. Very nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. When are people going to be required to disclose what they've had done as a public service? And I don't mean that in a
Like
shameful way.
taxes, like when you run for president.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yes, because I want to know who your doctor is.
Right.
It's also
And
like we should all have access to that. Like that's not fair. You can't keep that a secret. Don't gatekeep
That is
looking
a
young
given.
forever.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's like really not
Especially
fair.
the good ones. Michelle Pfeiffer, Jane Fonda, let us know.
Just
Oh
tell
my
us.
God. I mean, Julianne Moore.
Just tell us.
Julianne Moore. Meg Ryan, not so much.
Wow. Low blow. Low blow.
Oh, so sorry. I love Meg Ryan. Don't drag me, Meg Ryan fans. I love her.
So, Joyelle,
Yes.
obviously Sam and I have been having the worst weeks of our lives.
Mm-hmm.
How are you?
Oh my God, I'm doing fantastic actually. I just had surgery this last month, so I'm recovering from
Oh.
that and crushing it.
Oh my God, I
Wow.
love that.
Yes.
Do you feel like you're now in the place where you can just luxuriate and taking it easy without being in like deep pain?
Absolutely. Yeah. I had a laparoscopic hysterectomy,
Okay.
which shout out to all of the women out there. Get your checkups, get your checkups. And sometimes if you don't want kids, you just be like, take that thing. And I am crushing it because they gave me like 4 to 6 weeks and I was healed in like 2 weeks. So now I'm just
Ooh.
like, let's sleep in and let's enjoy this time and then eventually get back on stage when I feel like it.
Wow, how have you been
my
enjoying the
God.
time?
Oh my God, I enjoy it so much. All my friends have been visiting. They've been luxuriating me. This plant was a gift.
Ooh.
Shout out to all the people who love me. I've been having a great time.
Wow, I don't think I've ever seen anyone thrive so much weeks post surgery.
I know.
I'm thriving. I'm pounds lighter. No more tampons in my future. All of my friends are jealous.
Wow, I have to
And
say,
they should be.
it does sort of sound like you are thriving post a relatively major surgery more than I am post a minor food poisoning, and that really goes to show you how strong women are.
I want to add to that like, we were just talking about everyone getting their work done and sort of being upfront about sort of what they're doing. And I think it's so powerful
Yes.
for you to put your money where your mouth is and say, well, here's how I'm living my best life. Like,
Yes, because I've been talking about it and it's like all my friends are like, wait a minute, I want that. No more condoms, no more tampons. I want that. Like it's crazy how many of my friends are just interested in the process. And you can't really have an elective hysterectomy because people don't think, women can make their own decisions. But yeah.
wow.
And whereas you can have an elective, what's the
Vasectomy.
A vasectomy, thank you.
Yeah.
What's up with that? I mean, it's
They're
not
just
my
like,
story to
you'll
tell.
change your mind,
Yeah.
girl. Everyone wants kids. Every woman wants to be a mother. That's that straight culture. Every woman wants to be a mother. You're not a woman if you're not a mother. What else could you possibly focus on, bitch? Expensive meals.
I know, I can actually think of so many other things to focus on without children.
Yeah.
The list is sort of
Traveling.
endless.
I need to go to a White Lotus resort. I
Oh my
can't have
God.
kids for
Let's all
that.
go. What a great place to recover from your surgery, which you're clearly so distraught over.
I know. Oh my God, I'm so sad. Yeah, no, it's wild. And I'm talking about it so much. Like, I'm the comic who talks about abortion all the time. And so now I will be talking about hysterectomies because no one, we need to just talk about more of these things. Disclose. I'll let you know when I get my Botox.
Well, I mean, let me just say something. You look incredible, as you are sort of hashtag no makeup sans Botox.
Yes, I do not have makeup on and I'm in my 40s. So it's like,
Oh my God, you
be
are?
crushing. I am.
Wow.
Wow, this is really inspiring me to sort of like buckle up and start like trying to live a better life. Because
Oh my gosh, moisturize.
I'm like, a single meal has destroyed my entire week. I have not left the house. I feel like today, for the first time in days, I put on my, vitamin C serum, and I was just looking in the mirror, my face just looking truly like yellowed out, and I was like, "Come on, come on, like, pop. Let's make a pop."
Come on in there, baby. I be drizzling oils. It's fabulous.
Yeah, I gotta figure
Wow.
this out. I can't have like an ATM ruining my entire day.
I know. No, this is really inspiring me. It's like for us to be complaining about literally like Domino's delivery and an ATM not working properly, and then Joyelle to come on and be like, well, I just had surgery. I'm having the time of my life. I'm thriving. I'm wearing no makeup and I look like Julianne Moore. I mean, yeah.
I will take it. I'll take it. Yeah, no. And I think that's part of it is like when you face something like that, you're just like, you know what? I'm going to try not to let the little things bother me. But that's also years and years of therapy.
Yeah.
Years and years of therapy. Oh my gosh. Everybody get therapy.
Wow.
I mean, listen, as soon as I figure out insurance, I'm going to get right on that, babe.
Absolutely. I know. So accessible. Oh my God. I'm so relatable.
Yeah.
I have a question for you. You're talking about abortion, talking about your surgery and all this stuff. Like, how have you found the reaction from audiences across the country to be?
I am an abortion hero, for lack of a better word.
Mm-hmm.
I go out into the red states and escort people into clinics, and I talk to the antis, and I can be the face of it, where other people can't. There's an organization called Shout Your Abortion, and they encourage us to shout about it for the people who've had one that can't, who are less, more timid.
Like, while you're touring, you'll go to red states and do work. Oh, wow.
Yes. With the Abortion Access Front, we'll actually go and see what clinics need, because a lot of clinics can't have basic services just because what they do is abortion work. So, yeah, we've been doing all the traveling. Actually, the day Roe fell, I was on a plane to West Virginia to perform at their clinic's first gala in 15 years.
Whoa.
And it was the day Roe fell, and it was literally like I was doing stand-up at a funeral because everyone was just crying. And then they were like, coming to the stage is Joyelle. And I was like, hey, guys.
Oh my God.
Is everyone sad? All right, great.
How did you handle that?
Oh, I handled it like a professional, because I was like, there's nothing, we can't only go up. We can only go up. Everybody's sad, so let's go up. And my favorite moment was that I have a joke about like antis telling me, what if you aborted, LeBron James? And then wherever I am, I'll be like, what if I aborted insert person? And since I was in West Virginia, I was like, what if I aborted Joe Manchin? And the whole crowd went crazy. And the one woman who used to work for Joe Manchin walked out of the room, and I was like, yes.
Wait, there was a woman who used to work for Joe Manchin at the pro-choice,
Yes, because they are
rally?
fake Democrats. Yes.
Wow.
Well, I guess
He's a
that
fake
makes
Democrat.
That makes sense. That makes sense.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Well,
Yeah,
you
so-
are braver than the Marines, and
I mean, really. Yeah, and I have to say, nothing says straight culture than restricting abortion access. And so the fact
Hello.
that you're on the front lines means that you are aligned with this podcast.
Absolutely. Yes. Straight culture indeed. And just intimidating people into having babies that they don't want.
no, thank you.
It really is the
Thank
most
you.
forceful, violent version of straight
Yeah.
culture.
Yes, yes, yes. It's the part we don't want. So,
Wow.
yes.
Well, I mean, this could be an insane turn, but should we do our first segment?
Oh my God. No. Yeah. Let's do it.
The way that this will give our listeners whiplash and even ourselves, I think is so
well, you know,
funny.
I love it.
There are very few times on this pod where I'm like, I'm sort of like, oh, I wish we were doing like a serious interview because I actually want to learn more about what we're talking about. But sadly, that's not what they pay us for. And we are being paid a lot of money.
I love that for you guys.
Yeah. And when I say they pay us, I mean the Mansion campaign.
Yeah.
So, there is obviously a conflict of interest.
Yeah, we were both getting a lot of text messages while you were talking that were like, change the subject.
They're like, change the subject. Pivot.
Joe's calling.
I kept hitting decline, but he just keeps calling.
So, Joyelle, our first segment is called Straight Shooters. And in this segment, we gauge your familiarity with and complicity in straight culture by asking you a series of rapid fire, simple questions where you have to pick this thing or this other thing. And it makes no sense. There's no rhyme or reason for what we're asking. And the one rule is you can't ask any follow-up questions.
Love
Do
it.
you copy?
Copy.
Sam, take it away.
Okay, Joyelle, the Cold War or a hot plate?
Hot plate. Mm-hmm.
Okay, Joyelle, everyone's a critic or everybody loves Raymond?
Everyone's a critic. I'm a critical ass, judgy ass bitch. So
Okay, being in the Philharmonic, being philanthropic, or being Phil of the future?
ooh, Philharmonic. I was a marching band nerd. So I played
Wow.
flute and piano. So if I could be in the Philharmonic, that'd be amazing.
Wow.
Okay, Joyelle, cowering from pain or summering in Spain?
Well, I was just cowering from pain from my surgery. I caught a UTI after it
Oh,
terrible
no.
times. So I'm going to go for the other one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, we could all use a summer in Spain, I
Of
think.
course.
Hello?
Okay, stocks and bonds or subs and doms?
Ooh. I think I'm going to go stocks and bonds. I got to go get into my white man villain ever and get me some stocks
Smart.
and bonds.
Okay, watching Magic Mike's Last Dance or playing Magic the Gathering with Lance Bass?
I don't like male strippers.
Say
Yeah,
that.
that's fair.
Say that.
And that's actually a good enough answer.
Yeah, that's my answer.
Okay. Being on the no-fly list or having No Woman No Cry on the playlist?
Oh gosh, obviously no woman, no cry. I got places to be. Are you kidding me? No kids. Team No Kids got to fly around the world.
Okay, Joyelle, the racial politics of Save the Last Dance or the gender politics of the new clothing line from Tan France?
I'm Team Tan France all the way. But I hate all movies that is like, oh, that white girl can dance. No, she can't.
It's so funny because I was like, the only reason that was on my mind is because I was trying to work out another one where I was like, I was trying to do Harry Styles winning a Grammy or Julia Stiles, and then I was like trying to find the end of that, and I just couldn't. So then I got into the Google hole of like Julia Stiles, blah, blah, blah. And then I remembered Save the Last Dance, which was such a formative, maybe this is just me, but like for people our age, I feel like it's very formative. Am I wrong?
No, when it came out, it was like huge. It was like, everyone was like, no, you got to check out this movie. Like, and I don't know why.
And like scenes of it are burned in my mind. Like when, who is it? Is it Kerry? Like when she's wearing like
Kerry
a cardigan.
Washington, yes.
She's wearing a cardigan, and then Kerry Washington takes the cardigan and then puts it on Julia Stiles' head as a wrap.
Mm-hmm.
And we're like, problem solved.
Yes. I would just like to speak for the old black delegation. That was not formative for me.
Right. Yeah, no, and that's honestly fair. And I don't even mean formative in like a positive, I guess formative sounds like it would, I don't even mean formative in a positive way, just like sort of made an impression.
Yeah.
Because I feel
Yeah.
like for people who didn't like it, it also made an impression. Am I wrong? Like, wasn't it sort of like a thing people made fun of too?
Oh, yeah. I
Yeah.
still don't know that black dude's name.
I know. He sort of didn't do much after.
I hope he's doing
I'm
it.
sure he's fine.
You know who is doing all right? Kerry Washington.
And you know who's
Julia Stiles? Because
No,
we're
not
not
really.
sure about that either.
No, actually, the most thankless role in that film is Kerry Washington, which is it's really nice that she's the one now doing better than all of them.
also
Yeah.
Julia Stiles. We have to talk about how has she ended up in every single spam ad that was like, this woman used to be an actress, now she works in Massachusetts. Like, it's like, legally, how can they do that, and why her? Like,
Right.
that's gotta be like the
Like
worst
when
case
Armie
scenario.
Hammer started selling vacation homes.
Oh yeah, in the Cayman
Timeshares.
Islands.
Yes.
I mean, honestly,
Leave her
are
alone.
those discounted? Like, I would, I would, you know, turn a blind eye to some of the ethics of that if I could just have a free room.
Yes. I get a free room and let him tour me. I'm signing up. I'm bringing friends. Make sure he don't eat me, but I'm signing up.
Okay, so here's the thing. Today, for
Yes.
everyone listening, is Valentine's Day. We realized this mere seconds before pressing record on this podcast.
And by today is Valentine's Day, we mean for you listening, it's Valentine's Day. For us recording, it's a few days before.
It's a few days before. And you know, I know all three of us have romantic, beautiful plans with our romantic partners on actual Valentine's Day.
Yes.
But I also think it's a completely valid way to spend it by listening to our podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Totally.
You gonna be on a train?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
There's actually nothing more romantic than being on a train in some ways.
There's actually nothing more romantic than listening to a podcast, even being.
Yeah,
that's,
I agree.
That's
By yourself.
loving yourself. If you're on the train to work, that's loving. Stability, and I think
Paying
that's a
rent.
beautiful thing.
Paying rent. Oh my God, paying rent is so romantic. Actually,
Yes.
supporting landlords of any kind is one of the most beautiful things you can do this Valentine's Day. You know, and this is the StraightioLab challenge. This Valentine's Day, send your landlord a Valentine.
Yeah, because it's February 14th, which is like, it's so far away from the first of the month in both directions. And that must be really hard for them. And so.
Oh my God, that is such a good point, Sam.
Thank you. And I just think.
People don't talk enough about how hard Valentine's Day is for landlords.
Because it's like they're trying to be happy, but it's like such a fake smile because they can't really
Yeah.
fully be themselves. And it's just like send them an extra 200 today if you can. Like,
Wow. Yeah.
say, dinner's on me tonight, sweetheart.
Send him a DoorDash.
Yeah,
Yeah,
send them a
send 'em a
DoorDash.
DoorDash.
And
Yeah.
say, thanks for letting me pay for my house.
Wow, that would be the most misguided way to rebrand Valentine's Day, to be like, oh, it's a capitalist institution. We're going to rebrand it as pro-landlord.
No one will be upset with that at all.
But we have tasked ourselves with proving the point that Valentine's Day is in fact straight.
Yes.
And so let the games begin.
Joyelle, what is your opinion on Valentine's Day? What is your history with Valentine's Day? Where do you stand on it?
I was single for like 20 years.
Mm-hmm.
So every Valentine's Day, I would want to hang out just with my girlfriends. I would have the Galentines, fun, and try not to be too pressured about it, Buy your friends some flowers if you're single. And I would also gauge it for when I'm dating a guy to see whether or not to continue dating that dude
Yeah.
by how they would judge on Valentine's Day. And so now I'm out of the woods and I have a boo. And we're gonna, my favorite thing to do, we're gonna get some crab legs and
Ooh,
hang out
are we
in the
talking?
house.
I was about to say restaurant or takeout. We're talking takeout. Yeah.
Yes,
wow.
I love being in the house. Yeah, so we're just gonna, because it's like Valentine's Day. Going out on Valentine's Day is insane.
I know.
So-
And you know what? Like, the fact that it actually, because we're doing that this year too, and the fact that it took me this long to fully grapple with that is humiliating. I would always be, even though I don't, technically care about it, I don't religiously, I'm not, it doesn't mean anything to me. But the day comes every year and you're like, well, we have to go to a restaurant.
We have to do something.
We have
Yeah.
to do something.
Yeah, you have to buy a present,
Or
right?
something.
Yeah.
I do the thing, in Christmas Vacation, the like rich couple next door that's like Julia Louis-Dreyfus, where they're like
Julia Louis-Dreyfus,
Yeah.
yes.
Where they're like, oh, we're not going to celebrate Christmas. I do that every year with Valentine's Day, and I'm like, who cares? I don't want to do anything. And then like 4 p.m. rolls along, and it's like, well, we should get dinner, right? Like we should go out somewhere. And then of course everywhere is like booked up, and it's like insane. And
Yeah.
why would I try to
Oh.
do that? So I think
Yeah.
I end up doing takeout a lot of times by default.
by default.
Yeah.
Yeah. We looked into a couple of our favorite restaurants and they were like closed bookings.
Well, or they'll
3
do like a
months in
prefix
advance.
menu that's like more expensive than normal and worse quality than normal.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So
and
we're
then
like-
also it's like we go out all the time.
Yeah.
You know, we're outside people. So I'd rather be inside on the major holidays unless I'm making money. If you want to put me on stage to make some money, I'll come out. But Valentine's Day, I'm going to stay my
No, I
behind in
completely
the
agree.
house.
I really like, I have to say, this pains me to say, but as someone who is a huge fan of restaurants and always has been, I would say to my financial detriment, often, I sort of am hitting a wall where I'm like, I think part of it is also just inflation and how expensive everything is, but I'm hitting a wall where I'm like, maybe this isn't the best use of my money.
Yeah.
I mean, you're not going to get me to help you with that. I'm an enabler. I am the devil on your shoulder. Order out. Order
Yeah.
out. Go to restaurants.
Oh, God.
Go to Michelin star restaurants.
Ooh.
Fancy.
I'm very like
Yes.
binary when it comes to restaurants. Like I'll like really be like, okay, I'm all in. I'm throwing all caution to the wind. I'm spending as much money as I humanly can at this restaurant. Or it's like I'm eating like nothing. Like I'm at home and
Yeah.
I'm like eating a peanut butter sandwich. And it's like there is a middle ground and that I need to find.
Sam, find the middle ground. But
Well,
do you
that
do
is-
take out leftovers? Do you do
I
leftovers?
try, but sometimes I get so hungry that I eat it all in one go.
You eat it all.
Wow.
Okay. I'm the person that orders a bunch of stuff and then don't finish it and
Love
take it
doing
home and
that.
have like meals for 2 days.
And of course, I've always said this, when you heat up leftovers of takeout, that actually counts as home cooking, so it's healthier.
Absolutely. Hello, air fryer.
I love that. I love that reasoning so much.
Thank you.
Okay, so Valentine's
So-
Day, the straight
yeah.
elements of it, of course, are like public romance,
Hmm.
Yes.
Of course, gendered,
gendered romance.
like just simply gendered romance, heteronormativity. Also, it's also, aside from the gendered element of like a couple of a man and a woman, Valentine's Day itself, it's like gendered female. It's like pink hearts and like girls like it. So guys are like, what's my girl want? Like, what do I gotta do to make my girl happy on Valentine's Day? I just want to cut this wood.
Yeah. My favorite thing I saw one Valentine's Day is just like a hood ass dude with some Timberlands on and just so masculine, and he just had some Mylar balloons and a big old teddy bear, and he's just walking from the Eastern Parkway stop, and I was like, yeah.
Wow.
I love that.
It's so funny because even, you know, as a gay man, when I buy, like, if I buy flowers on Valentine's Day, I'm like, oh no, everyone thinks I'm like a cranky straight guy that like just thought of this. And then,
Maybe you got to skip down the
I know,
street.
literally.
Exactly. You gotta skip.
So many
You
times in my
gotta
life, I just
go up
want
to the cash register and be like, I'll get 2 of the red ones.
So many times in my life, I just feel like I need a shirt that's like, I'm gay, by the way. Like, because, like, this is cool because I'm gay. Like, I even feel that way. There's just been this, have you guys, I feel like I see a lot of videos at the gym now of like a girl filming herself and then like being like, that guy keeps staring at me. And it's like, there's been like controversy about whether the guy is actually staring at them. And I've always been like it's made me paranoid at the gym, but I'm like, and I just want to be like, just so everyone knows I'm gay. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not staring.
I think about this all the time, because when I am in a, let's say a yoga class, a Pilates class even, I am essentially constantly staring, like intently staring at the body of the closest woman to me because I'm trying to emulate what she's doing.
Right.
And the optics of that would simply be different if I were straight. I mean, I really look like I'm ogling women, and maybe I should actually take that into account and stop doing it, to be honest, now that I'm thinking about it. But I mean, it's like, or even if the instructor is showing us something, I'm really like laser focused.
Yeah. Looking straight at somebody's butt. Like,
Yeah, straight at somebody's butt. And also sometimes I'll say it, like I'll do that even on the street. I'll be like, sort of looking at someone's outfit, or even, and maybe that outfit includes cleavage. So then suddenly I find myself literally staring at a woman's cleavage, and I'm like, well, that's not good.
yeah, I compliment women's cleavage a lot, and I'm very happy that I'm a woman for that, because I'll be like, ooh, look at your butt. Ooh, look at your, and I realize, I'm like, if I was a straight man,
Yeah.
I would be sexually harassing
Yes,
harassing
100%.
people in the streets. But since I'm, a straight woman, boo.
Yeah. And that
also,
is the
capitalism is
right.
heterosexual.
Well, say that.
It's straight.
I'll say that.
And so we have basically the marriage of romance and commerce. Is there anything more straight than
Okay,
that?
wait, one more thing I think actually. The implication of like tonight is special because we're gonna have sex. Where it's
Oh,
Right.
yes.
The pressure of that.
pressure. Because it also implies like sex is almost something we don't like. Like it's like we like it's that gendered thing again of like, well, the man wants sex and the woman doesn't but puts up with it. And it's like, and Valentine's Day is like the trade-off of like, well, he gives me gifts and I give sex, and it's like, hold on, everyone
Right.
stop.
Like you're gonna do a blowjob for Valentine's Day.
Oh,
Ooh,
God.
girl.
Oh, you're bad.
You're naughty. or
And-
you're just in a relationship.
Yeah, you're
Yeah. And along those lines, the sort of it's sort of like, all right, this is our one chance. We have to prove that we still want to be in a relationship tonight. We have to have a good time. Otherwise, what the fuck is the point? I'll see you next Christmas.
Yeah, and it sucks when Valentine's Day is on like a Tuesday, like
Yes.
it is
Mhm.
this year. And all you people with your regular jobs.
yeah. Okay.
That's my boyfriend.
Our well, how do we feel about like a box of chocolates?
Boo.
Boo.
Yeah.
Boo.
Toot or boot.
Toot or boo.
Yeah.
Toot or boo.
I will boot that.
I mean,
Boot box of chocolate.
Because here's why. I only like milk chocolate. And they're going to put dark chocolate and white chocolate in there. And I don't want neither one of those.
You're right.
I actually completely agree with just the futility of a box of chocolates. Like, it is the compromise that pleases no one. No one likes all of them.
No.
Excuse me. So I'm getting emotional. No one likes all of them, and you're rarely bringing them. I mean, yes, sometimes you're bringing them to a group of people, but usually you're just bringing them to one person. So what are you doing? You're literally giving someone 25 things, of which they will like approximately 3, and of which approximately 6 of them will have some fucking liquid oozing out of them as soon as you take a bite.
Oozing. Did a cherry just burst in my mouth? I wasn't expecting a cherry.
This
Ew.
idea that like there's chocolate available all year round, but what we really want is some disgusting viscous liquid oozing out of the chocolate. It's like, finally the one day a year when that's okay.
Yes. If you're gonna do it, do like the heart. That's one
Yeah.
thing of chocolate, like a brick of
I love
hazelnut
that. Yes, I agree. I
and
agree.
a heart of some shit I like. Don't be bringing me no box of chocolates from CVS.
Yeah. Wait, you're so right, because that's the other thing is like, Valentine's Day allegedly is like the one day where you're doing something for your partner. So to give them something that is literally meant for the broadest possible palette is actually an insult. Like, you should give them the one thing you know is their favorite. Like, to give someone a box of chocolates is essentially a corporate Christmas gift.
That is. It's a good re-gift as well.
Yeah.
No, nobody wants that.
You know, I have
Wow.
to say I do sort of like the mystery, and I also sort of like feeling like a little bit of a king to be able to like to bite it in half and be like, ew, this one's not good, and then like throw it in the garbage.
Totally.
Spit it out on the floor.
Yeah, that one.
Slap
That one
somebody.
was horrible. Take it away.
No, I don't like to waste.
No, I also think it's a time and place thing. Like, I genuinely do think, let's say I had a big dinner party at my home and someone, a friend, an acquaintance, brought me an expensive box of chocolates. I would actually appreciate that, and I would keep them and like occasionally like snack on one. But for a partner to give you something that is so impersonal.
Mm-hmm.
Impersonal, yes. I got very personal this year. I think you guys will appreciate my gifts. I got him a little miniature Lego figure and also a T-shirt that says butt stuff. And
What?
for some reason,
Is he a big Lego head?
I like that. That was
I
the
know.
question.
I was like, smart.
I'm like, butt stuff, okay, we're on board, but what's with the Legos?
The Lego, because we just got a bonsai Lego tree, and it's so cute. Legos has a botanical collection that's adorable, and he made the bonsai tree. So I was like, ooh, let's put a little guy on the bonsai tree. So the Legos has a T-shirt on that says butt stuff as well. So I will be presenting these to him. And a Lego Spider-Man.
Wow.
that
Oh
can
my
move
God.
around.
See, this is like, this is the definition of personal. Like, this
Personal.
is, I can already sort of imagine what your boyfriend or husband, if you don't mind me asking,
Domestic partner.
domestic
Ooh.
partner is like.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's fun. He's sweet.
I can imagine
Weird.
what he's like. I can imagine what your relationship is like. If you had told me you got him a box of chocolates, I'd be like, okay, well, you could live anywhere, Kansas or Helsinki. I wouldn't know.
Yes. And you've been together for 3 days.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
Well, that sounds beautiful. I mean, it is like the general aesthetics of Valentine's Day are off-putting. Like the heart chocolate, the bear, the rose. Like roses have never spoken to me either.
Oh, interesting. Yeah.
yeah, no. I'm not a flowers person just because I hate watching them die and then I have to throw them away.
Yeah.
So I'm very
Yeah.
much a plant person to try to keep it alive. At least you can try to keep it alive.
Mm-hmm.
But flowers ain't living. So, yeah, I don't want no roses. A rose bush?
No.
No.
God no.
No, the teddy bear. Wait, okay. So this points to another thing, which is a sort of infantilization of the whole thing. Like getting a grown woman a teddy bear, like a pink teddy bear,
Yeah.
Booty.
and being like, "Here you go, babe." And she's like, "Thank you,
Is that
daddy."
your straight voice?
Yeah. She's like, "Thank you, daddy."
Here you go, babe.
Yeah, it actually really
Okay,
weirds me
Zaddy.
out. It's like pretty weird. I don't like that.
Yeah, like okay, so teddy bears, hearts.
All that mainstream shit, I don't want. I've never wanted any of that.
Also, I'm sorry, but the heart candies that all say like kiss me, hug me, they taste bad.
Chalk? Is that
Literally chalk. Yeah.
Is that sugar chalk?
I'm like, is this algebra 2? Because I'm ready to solve an equation on this blackboard.
Because it's like, why is that still a thing? Like,
It's crazy.
they should have made it a Skittle or something, like something
Yeah.
that we like to ingest. That's a weird one. I can't think of any of those mainstream gifts that I liked.
I know.
Also,
Well,
what do you get the straight man
What do you get the
Right.
straight man?
for Valentine's Day?
A leather wooden mug
a leather wooden mug.
that says
A
I'm
leather
not gay.
wooden mug, and then just a giant cable.
Yeah.
Ladies, let me tell you something. If you're looking for a
Yeah.
nice gift
Holiday
for your man
gift
this
guide,
Valentine's
last
Day,
minute gift.
leather wooden mug or a huge cable. We're talking yards long.
Yes. 25, 45 yards.
25, 45
Get that-
yards.
Yes.
Get that bitch across the house.
You want to be able to plug in a toaster oven in the kitchen, have the toast ready in the master bedroom.
Yes, exactly. Men love an extension thing. He pulled out something. I was like, that's been in our closet? Why has that not been out? One of those places you plug a whole bunch of things into.
Oh, yeah.
You just had that in the closet.
Wow.
That is really like those ways to either extend electricity or divide it. That's like meditation for straight men.
It really is.
They love to sort of play with the idea of electricity.
Yeah. Yes. My DP
Yeah.
and my stepdad are very much like that. He
Yeah,
loves
they
having
really get a kick out of
a
it.
plug system.
Yeah. I can't relate. I don't have that.
Get them a good. They're like a little. Like get them a good plug to play with. Just like not attached to anything, so they don't hurt themselves. They can just like put a plug in and out of like a fake outlet.
So they don't hurt themselves.
Honestly, like that is a good gift. Like a gift for dad is like, is he feeling stressed? Give him the little eye plug.
Give them the plug. Maybe it makes a little sound every time you
Makes
plug
a
it
sound,
in.
yeah.
It's like maybe like a little Steely Dan riff or something.
Yeah.
That would be beautiful.
Aw.
Yeah,
so
like
bad.
it starts playing the Shawshank Redemption on the TV.
Yeah, holiday gift guide for the men in your life.
So I want to address
Yeah.
one more thing,
Yeah.
which is that
Mhm.
I almost feel like, hating on Valentine's Day is almost passé at this point.
True.
Like it's like for generations, people have been saying that, oh, Valentine's Day is like a fake holiday and it's created by
Yes.
card companies and it's created by chocolate companies and blah, blah. So it almost feels like,
Big chocolate.
obvious to be, yeah, it's like, it almost feels like obvious to be like, oh, it's lame, blah, blah. And that makes me think that in some ways it's almost like how do we feel about Valentine's Day alternatives? Like, are those straight too?
You mean like a Galentine's Day?
Like a Galentine's Day, is that, or a
I think that is straight because it's
Yeah.
the pressure to have to
Exactly.
do something on that day so you don't feel lonely or you don't feel like nobody
Yeah.
wants you and all that type of stuff. So yeah, that's mad straight.
Yeah, it's like if it didn't have that big of an effect in your life, the big of an impact in your life, then you wouldn't feel the need to create counter programming.
Yeah. And also, what's the 15th? Is that the side chick holiday?
Oh yeah, I mean that's
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 kind of
sort queer.
progressive.
Yeah,
Yes.
polyamory.
As long as it's consensual, guys.
Yeah. Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Okay, the only genuinely queer Valentine's Day I've ever had is because I actually feel like as a gay couple, it's like I am straight for a night. Like if we got to dinner, we are like cosplaying as a straight couple, and it's like fun. There's something to it.
100%. It's like straight people going to a pride parade.
Yeah.
That's what it's like when you're a gay person that's going out for Valentine's Day. You're like, okay, like we have to be respectful. It's their culture. I'll wear the flag.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, yeah, we put our American flag pins on when we go to Valentine's
Yeah,
Day.
yeah, exactly. You're like, all right, tonight we're Republicans, and that's okay. Tomorrow we'll go back to like voting in favor of human rights.
Love doesn't win.
Love does not win
Love
tonight.
doesn't win. You sort of go to the restaurant. You're like, this is my roommate.
Yeah.
You're my friend.
So the only truly queer Valentine's Day I've ever had was the one right before the pandemic, where me and 13 gay friends went to the club and did Molly and had the best night of our
Wow.
entire lives.
Oh, that's fun.
It was so fun. It was truly like a magical night. And just 1 month later, the pandemic happened. So you see where it came from now.
It's your fault. Just your friend group.
But it was,
I mean, it is sort of
yeah.
sacrilegious, really. Like you guys dared to be yourselves on Valentine's Day, the one day a year where we all have to succumb to the evil of the powers that be.
And it really didn't
Yeah.
even feel like counter programming. It just sort of felt like, oh, we're also going to do this. Like it didn't feel like we're rebelling against Valentine's Day. It was just like, oh, actually, we're all going to this tonight. And it was like half of us, I feel like, were in relationships, and like it wasn't like we're anti-couple, nor was it like couples night. It was like truly a blurred line of all of them in a way that was I'll say it, groundbreaking, beautiful.
Wow.
Never been done.
Well, as always, it does go back to chosen family. I mean, you decided that rather than putting the focus on Valentine's Day on the heteronormative nuclear family, you are embracing a multi-generational, cultural chosen family that comes from every country in the world.
Yeah, it was so beautiful.
Listen, I didn't choose to be straight. Okay. This is a prison.
Oh my
Wow.
goodness.
Here's my question with a lot of these holidays. And I feel this way about like a lot of these holidays, like Thanksgiving, things people sort of roll their eyes at. I'm like, if you had the option, would you ban them? Or is it sort of fun to have something that you can feel superior to?
Wow, that's a tough question. That's a beautiful question.
I mean, single bitches love when they get in love, and then I mean, I'm so happy. I'm in a good relationship,
Yeah.
Like I want to buy stuff for him. I don't know what he's
right.
getting from me. Like I'm so happy. So I guess it does make you feel good. But listen, I want all my booze to get in relationships too.
Yes.
Because it feels really good. But I was also a single bitch for a very long time. So, but yeah, I'm not going to say superior. That's a very dramatic word.
Of course.
I
We would
do
never.
feel good.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah, I wouldn't ban it, I think.
No, I wouldn't ban it either.
Like there is something to it. Like I actually do like when holidays force us to act a little bit different.
Absolutely.
I agree. I think traditions exist for, well, I don't know if traditions exist for a reason, but I guess more I mean like you can choose which parts of a tradition to follow and which ones not to follow. Like if you think something is created by card companies, then don't buy a card.
Right.
Do something else. Like you can always choose how you want to celebrate something, and it can be completely your own. The only thing you shouldn't do is wear Converse at your wedding.
Who did that? Oh, I know who did that.
You know what I mean? It's like people do that.
People do that.
Yeah, no.
It's a type.
My mother always said to me, you can tell by how a man feels about you through the holidays.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're dating, and then you get to a Valentine's Day or a Thanksgiving or a New Year's, and they're ghosting you or whatever,
Sure.
she's like, that is a judge of how much they care about you, because you don't have to care about Valentine's Day, but if your significant other cares about it, then you should care about it.
100%.
It's like being a contrarian, even in a relationship, that's not sustainable.
And it's also like, if you're a contrarian and if you don't care about Valentine's Day, then maybe find a partner who shares those values, and then you can both be contrarians, and you can be sort of like goths and go to go to the woods and sacrifice a goat.
Yes, have red blood, which going back, now you celebrate Valentine's Day.
Yeah. Whoops.
Yeah.
So we all basic bitches, and
You're not better than anybody.
you're not better than anyone.
No, it's true. I mean, that's the thing, is it's almost like every tradition is in its own way lame, just because it is something because it's unoriginal. It's like something everyone does at the same time. So there can be no tradition that is completely like cool and indie and authentic. So I guess the best we can do is embrace it.
Yes, and also just spend time with people.
Yeah.
That's what I love about it, where it's like, oh, let's spend time together. That's all Thanksgiving is. That's all Christmas is.
No,
spend
it's
time
true.
with somebody and don't work.
Yeah, be a little silly. Like, calm down for a second.
Yeah.
Have fun.
Do some Molly.
Do Molly.
Yeah, do some Molly. Well, so our message to everyone listening to this on Valentine's Day is spend time with the people you love, do Molly, and don't buy your significant other a box of chocolates.
Yeah, instead, buy
a
your
butt stuff shirt.
and give your landlord whatever extra you have after the butt stuff shirt.
Yes, give your landlord a gift. It would be funny if everyone's takeaway was to buy Joyelle's exact gifts to her domestic partner. I'm like, no, you missed
For
the
their
point.
landlord.
The reason that was charming is because like he specifically would like it. Don't buy it. Not everyone should buy their boyfriend.
They're like, no, I listened to this
t-shirt that says butt
incredibly
stuff.
smart podcast, and it was like, yeah, apparently you're supposed to buy your boyfriend like a Lego and a shirt that says butt
Legos.
stuff. Like, I think it's the new tradition.
Everyone buys their boyfriend Legos, and the boyfriends are like, I don't like Lego. Like, where is this coming from?
Yes. Please make sure you have an open boyfriend.
Wow. Well, I love that.
Yay.
I love it.
I love it.
I mean, should we do our final segment?
I think it's time. I really think, as much as we started out critical and did some hardcore critical analysis, I think we've come out pro-love.
We actually have. We, our ice cold hearts have melted a bit. In a way that.
Speak for yourselves.
Well, listen, you're the one that's already with your gifts for Valentine's Day.
I know. I haven't even. I was like, what can be delivered quickly?
I know. I don't know.
I'm always paying extra shipping for something. Mother's Day and Valentine's Day, I'm
Don't get
always
me
caught up paying the extra shipping. You would need it there by tomorrow. $45.
Oh no. Well, okay. Our final segment is called Shoutouts, and in this segment, we pay homage to the classic straight tradition of the radio shoutout and give a shout out to anything that we enjoy. So imagine it's 2001, you're at TRL and you're shouting out to your squad back home just about anything that you like. George, do you happen to have one?
Yeah.
I love that.
I have one. Okay. What's up, lovebirds celebrating Valentine's Day and listeners across the globe? I want you to put your headphones on tight and listen to the shout out that I'm about to give. I want to give a quick shout out to the New York Philharmonic. What?
Woo!
Yeah.
He's sophisticated and has a PhD in ethnomusicology? I had no idea. That's right, folks, spelled with an X. I recently purchased tickets to see the Philharmonic in New York for the first time, and I know very little about classical music. It was a risk. I didn't know what I was in for. But let me tell you something. I had the time of my damn life. It is also cheaper than a Broadway show. It is much, it's definitely like a night out, but it's more affordable than you think. And you are there around some of the oldest people you've ever met, and rather than but you know what? They love. Many of them are asleep, but they love the music, and you get so much energy from being around them. Some of them are sort of bobbing their heads along, and you're like, wow, this is this is such a great night in your life. And then because of that, you're like, wait, it's also a great night in my life. And guess what? I heard Beethoven's Seventh, which I didn't really know much about. Like I said, I'm sort of a noob. When I tell you it was like being at a Dua Lipa concert, it was Dance, Dance, Dance Revolution up in that venue. And by that venue, I mean David Geffen Hall, newly renovated. I'm telling you, go online, purchase some tickets. We are taking back classical music from the old moneyed families of New York, and we are making it trendy and Gen Z starting in 2023, and that's on Lydia Tarr.
Woo! Wow, what a beautiful shout out.
Thank you.
Okay. What's up, freaks, losers, and yes, I'll include you, the perverts. I want to give a huge shout out on this Valentine's Day to Ethel Kane. George has been telling me to listen to Ethel Kane for a month straight, every single day. George's like, oh, and by the way, have you listened to Ethel Kane? I'm like, no, George, I'm not ready yet. I'm not ready to listen to new music. And finally, I was in a place where I actually got bored of every single song I had ever heard in my entire life. And I said, you know what, Sam? Let's take the dive. Let's hear something new. And I listened to Ethel Kane, and that song, American Teenager, at first I was like, kind of boring. And then I found myself wanting to go back and wanting to go back and wanting to go back. And now I listen to this song and I get fucking revved up. It is emotions. It is, it feels throwbacky in a weird way. And I have to say, I am loving it. I love whenever I find a new sad girl in the world, and they're out there, and there's plenty of them. And so shout out to Sad Girl, shout out to Ethel Kane, and shout out to my co-host George for pushing me to new heights.
Wow. Woo! It's an honor and a privilege. And I have to say, part of me is offended that it took you almost a full year to listen to a single recommendation I gave you, but at the same time, it's better late than never. And Ethel, if you're listening, we would be honored to have you on the podcast.
I love it.
Okay, Joyelle, whenever you are ready.
Okay. What up, hoochie mamas, baby mamas, sluts, slores, and whores? It's your girl, Joyelle, and I want to give a shout out to the show Sleep No More, which I finally saw. Since we shouting out events, I went to Sleep No More and I did some mushrooms with my friends, and this was like a month ago, and it was my first time seeing it, so I microdosed, which was a great idea, and I also had a little bit of an edible, so I didn't drink, and oh man, Sleep No More is crazy. It's Macbeth, and there was this one black girl, her name is Joy. She was amazing, and at one point she looked me in my eyes and she whispered, "Let's go, baby." And she ran away from me and ran up the stairs, and that's when I realized I was not in good shape. So I could no longer follow her, but I definitely need to go back to Sleep No More and pay the extra money to skip the line because it makes you feel superior. So shout out to Sleep No More for being long running and fucking awesome.
Woo!
Oh my God. Wow.
I love that.
Truly core memory unlocked.
I've never been.
Yeah.
Oh, I went years ago. Like, I feel like when it was, because it's sort of one of those things that now is just an institution that is never going to end. But I feel like I went when people were like, when it was like new, and it was, and I feel like immersive theater was really having a moment.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's one of those things like, almost like Stomp, which is now ending, I think, after like 1,500 decades.
Yeah.
Where it's like,
I auditioned for Stomp.
Really?
Oh my God.
Wow.
Yeah, I got to like the second callback.
That's amazing.
Oh my God. Do you know what is my favorite thing of all of those things? Blue Man Group.
Yeah, 100%.
To me, that's art.
Too.
I love Blue Man Group because like so many like improvisers that we know are like, yeah, I auditioned. Like,
yeah.
And I think that is so juicy to find out.
Yeah, I was like, what are they going to make me do to my hair? I was happy when they were like, we don't. I was like, good.
For Stomp?
I want to know what, for Blue Man Group.
Oh,
for
you
Stomp,
auditioned for Blue Man Group too?
Yeah. And I got to
Oh.
like the second callback for Stomp, but I only went to like the first one for Blue Man Group. And I was like, you know what? I don't want to put all that blue shit on my face.
No, that seems like a
It
nightmare.
sounds like hell.
What did they?
I'm sorry to ask this. I didn't realize it was gender inclusive.
Yes, gender and racial. I didn't realize it was racial inclusive. I thought those was white boys just up there.
Well, actually, Joyelle, they're blue.
You're right. You right. So yeah, I was very surprised.
How did they make you audition for Stomp? Did you have to like sweep a broom or something like rhythmically?
The first part of the audition was who can keep a beat. And it's so funny because you're like, people don't show up to this audition not being able to keep a beat. Oh no. Yes, the hell they do. And the first part is simply like, here is a step and keep up with it. And people were looking like, okay, bye-bye, go home.
Oh my God. Do you think it's just like actors?
It's
like actors that are like, well, this is one way to get on stage?
Absolutely, yeah, wow. Because it's like a different physicality because like Black fraternities and sororities do stepping, and I was familiar with that from college, so that was part of why I was able to keep with the beats of the things. But then once they started doing jump twists and splits and shit with trash cans, I was like, you know what? Let me go get on a stand-up stage, stand still.
Wow. Well, that is amazing.
Wow, now I want to go see Stomp.
I know. Are we gonna?
It's great. Stomp's
we
great.
We gotta see it before it closes forever.
I know. That's sort of how it's like all these things that I never had any interest in. Like Phantom of the Opera is closing. Never cared about Phantom of the Opera, and I'm like, well, I have to go.
Right. Yeah, you just want that in the core memory, so you can be superior and bring it up to people you didn't see.
Yeah, so I can be so sophisticated and be like, oh yeah, I've seen Phantom on Broadway.
Yeah, I've seen
and not just the movie with Emmy Rossum. I saw it on stage, sweetheart.
Emmy Rossum, my birthday twin.
Wow, well, who knew?
Let's just say I know which one of you is my favorite of that day. And she was not the star of Shameless.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, Joyelle, thank you so much for doing this podcast. It's been a pleasure to have you.
Oh, you're both such a delight. Yay. Butt stuff for everyone.
Butt stuff for everyone.
Happy Valentine's Day to all.
Anything you want to plug? Dare I ask?
Oh my gosh. I got big news I can't mention yet, but check out my special on Peacock.
Yes.
And my album, Yell Joy. So my special's Love Joy. It's on Peacock. My album, Yell Joy, is available where albums are available that have not pulled comedians off their things. So
there you go.
The ones who kept the comedians. That's where it's available.
Perfect.
Shout out.
Actually,
and guess what?
What?
Oh, Sam.
Well, I actually do want to say this is the last time I can say buy tickets to Club Comic if you haven't already. It's this Friday at the Bell House.
Yes.
I can't wait. Get tickets.
And I'll be there. So if you see me, say hello. And by the way, subscribe to our Patreon. It's only $5 a month, and you get honestly quite a bit of content every month.
Yeah, 2 bonus eps.
Wow.
Okay.
All right.
And bye.
Love ya.